Which brings us on nicely.
Yeah, to the other world. Kit, favourite part of the show. Mr. Kit Clark, do you have a ghost story?
Yeah, I guess. But what I'm going to do though is I'm going to keep it really light because.
Listen. We spoke to Ian Donaldson, mate. He's Olympic level.
Yeah, if you've got to beat Donaldson's.
No, this is true. It was a Danny Wilson memory that came back to me because I've been digging out, looking at old personal photographs and stuff to try and find stuff for these compilations. A couple of photos I found of us, and we had this flat in West Hampstead at one point. We were constantly on the move, and you're staying in hotels and stuff, and working in studios, but you never had a home to go to. Every week you were getting moved to a different hotel, and we were begging Virgin for so long just to get us a flat. So there was a couple of different ones to go, but then the other guys in the band from the live band and that would be coming down to stay with us for half the time, and so Virgin eventually, I think, sussed that, we don't have to get hotel rooms for them either, they'll just crash on that couch or whatever. So they got us this, it was quite a big flat by the standards of what we were used to living in. It was 3 bedrooms and there was 3 of us in West Hampstead. So it used to be the celebrity, I believe. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything or know what she does, but her name was Suzanne Danielle. You know, one of those people that...
Oh, yeah.
I know Suzanne Danielle.
You see her on Celebrity Squares and stuff, but never really on anything else. You know, like to be on a cruise.
Kit, I don't want to get a bit nerdy here, but in 1979, she was in an episode of Doctor Who with Tom Baker.
I must have saw that then.
Called Destiny of the Daleks from 1979.
Okay.
There we go. And she was also Emmanuel in Carry On Emmanuel.
Yeah, Carry On Emmanuel.
Right, I stand corrected. But so the house was kind of, it was a bit. She hadn't stayed there for years, but it was a furnished apartment and it was a bit run down and everything, and it was all a bit hippie. And it's particularly Jed and I that would just we used to have a routine where it was like someone would have to go and do the promotion. And there was 3 of us, and it would originally all 3 of us would be going, and it would be like, you know what, do you really want to do that? So it was whoever drew the short straw would have to go, the 3 different countries in Europe every day, and you just sit in the record company office, and 75 people come through and ask you the same questions. And when you're trying to make a record, it gets really frustrating, because it was breaking up the process. But anyway, back to the ghost story. This flat, it didn't matter what we did to try and clean it up. You would just get this waft of what we called the patchouli ghost, right? So it was some kind of remnant of we imagine someone had died wearing chiffon in the 70s, like from one of those kind of 70s Hammer horror films, like Vampire Lovers or something, and you would just get this waft of, it was almost like you would hear little wind chimes, and then there would just be like the waft of patchouli would go past you. So Jed and I would right, okay, let's scrub the place, everything's done, everything's smelling of Ajax, and I would sit down and order a pizza and get a movie on and sit back, and then you would just just feel the wee waft of wind, the little wind chime, and then the patchouli ghost.